Guys, how are you doing today? Good evening. I'm good. Back-to-back meetings, so the meeting was continued for 10 more minutes. That's the reason I'm late. Okay. All right. So, did you try to finish the task, yesterday's task, everyone? क्या हुआ? No reply. Can you hear me? Wrong question for now. Did you finish the task, CloudWatch task yesterday? Yesterday's task. Okay. Right. Nice. Excellent. So those who have not done, please do it. But if someone has done how to do these CloudWatch logs in Windows, have anyone done that? Has anyone done that? CloudWatch logs on Windows, pushing the logs from Windows machine. No one. Okay. If someone have done that, please document that and send it to me. This will be useful for the next coming students, probably. Okay, so what's today's topic then? Okay. So do you remember that a service which where everything is readily available, you can just go and create the virtual private servers and then do it? Which is that service? Lightsail. Nice. So Lightsail is a very small service. Should we have a light on Lightsail a bit for today? Yeah. Let us not leave that also. Yeah, let's do that. Let me. I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So guys, today's topic is Lightsail. It's nothing much with the Lightsail. It's very straightforward service. But we know, do you remember that I gave an example of having a, blogger example, blogger, right? So guys, if anyone wants to do very quickly on AWS without knowing much things, right? So Lightsail is the best start on AWS. But the thing is with the Lightsail is very selfish, right? It's selfish. Selfish meaning it doesn't want to interact with any other services. Remember, Lightsail doesn't want to interact with other AWS services. If you want database, Lightsail itself will provide a database. If you want load balancer, Lightsail itself will provide the load balancer. If you need Route 53, Lightsail itself will provide the Route 53. If you need monitoring, you don't need to CloudWatch, Lightsail itself will provide the own. Everything is its own home. Everything is by itself, right? So if someone wants to come to AWS, if someone has a nice idea and they want to implement it just like that on AWS without knowing much knowledge, then Lightsail would be the best thing. So Lightsail is like, guys, everything will be there. Like, most commonly used applications will be there already on the Lightsail, like Joomla, Drupal, WordPress, GitLab, Redmine, Nginx, Django, all these kind of applications will be there readily. You just pick it up, that image, and then launch it, and you will have the Lightsail instance. Here also we call it as instance, but it is not easy to instance. It is called it as Lightsail instance. Readily. Guys, okay, no fancy here. Lightsail has images readily available with applications inside it. You know, with images we can launch EC2 instance now. Yes, are you with me? Yeah. So with images we can launch an EC2 instance, right? The same way here in Lightsail we have the images, right, with applications ready installed readily there. Use it. Just click, just select that, launch it, and you will get it. I'll show you quickly demo on this Lightsail. But you understand, this Lightsail will come with plain operating system images or images with some pre-baked application. What I said, there will be some or plain OS, right, and then OS with pre-baked applications. Pre-baked application meaning what? Images with already some applications there. Yeah, plus apps. Yeah. So guys, basically, if you want everything to be installed, configured automatically from technical side, and also if your system does not require auto scaling. Do you remember this? Lightsail doesn't support auto scaling. In Lightsail, you have a load balancer. Guys, if you have load balancer, you have a high availability, or you need to have auto scaling. If you have a load balancer, definitely you have a high availability. But if you don't have a auto scaling, you don't have a fault tolerance. That meaning super high availability, you don't have it. You know why we need auto scaling? To scale out and scaling based on the demand. But this Lightsail doesn't support auto scaling, and rest everything is okay. But remember, guys, it's very light. Don't expect to be like EC2. EC2, you have images, volume, snap, and that everything will be here, but it's not as huge as EC2. It's very simple and sweet. Got that? So we have here something called instance plan. Guys, how do we have in EC2? We have T2 micro, T2 small and all, right? But here in Lightsail, you don't have concept called instance type and all. You have something called instance plan. Instance plan meaning just like you are prepaid. So this Lightsail provides you 512 MB RAM and 1 CPU, 20 GB hard disk, SSD, and 512 GB data transfer, and you need to pay $3.5 per month, standard, fixed. Like your prepaid, you have it, right? For 400 rupees, you will have 86 days or 85 days with 1.5 GB of data, etc. Right? The same way here, you need to pay 3.5 if you need to have 512 MB RAM, but you need to have 1 GB 1 GB RAM, go for $5. If you need 2 GB RAM, same way, 112 MB internet package 3.5, 1 GB internet packet $5, 2 GB internet packet $10. You need to pay like this. You will get the compute like this based on the instance plans here. Make sense? So I don't have much. These are all the screenshots that I took it from the console. Let's quickly jump on monthly $5. Yeah, on this Lightsail and see how it does. It look like Lightsail. This is the only dashboard you have it on Lightsail service. This is the you have instances. Latestly, they have launched something called containers. What is that containers? Do you remember that containers, that Docker containers? Yeah, Docker containers. You don't worry if you know, if you know about the little bit. No, not S3, not S3. No. So this is related to the DevOps. So in DevOps, hey, we have discussed about the DevOps a bit, right? There, did I talk about Dockers? We discuss about the Dockers, na? Dockers, containers, right? So you can create the containers directly here in Lightsail also, right? So this is few weeks back only they have added these containers, and you have databases. Let's see, you can launch. I'll try to create an instance. Don't worry, but let me go through it first. So instances, you can create an instance, Lightsail instance. Containers, you can create a container service is a compute resource to which you can deploy containers. Containers are standard unit of software that package blah 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 blah. You need to know more about container service and all. But This is not the right time that we talk about the containers and all. Yeah. Yes, you can host your image in your containers. Yes. Okay. Databases, we have the databases where you can go and create the databases here. But usually, where do we go to create a database? Yeah. Which service? RDP. Yeah. RDS. Right. We go to RDS service to go and create our databases. But here, Lightsail itself will provide the databases. So for networking, you have the networking concepts where you have, guys, this is static IP. What is the static IP concept in your EC2? What is the static IP? What is the static IP concept in EC2? EIP, right? EIP. So so this guy can also provide static IP, but there is not a concept of EIP, but it's called it a static IP here. Did we discuss about the CloudFront CDN? So it doesn't go to CloudFront; it has its own distribution, right? Load balancer and Route 53. Everything is inside. Storage, you can create the disk snapshot. The backup of your Lightsail instance is called a snapshot here. Let's go one by one and see here, guys. Should we go and create an instance? Let's do that. Create instance. See how it look like. So this has a region. You are in Mumbai, and availability zone is AP South 1A. You can change it anytime, right? And then platforms, it supports Linux and Windows, right? So if you go to Windows, you have only these servers, but in Linux, you have plain OSs and you have pre-baked applications. See, if you go for Linux, you have these many applications available at the moment. WordPress. Do you know WordPress? Anyone? Anyone knows about WordPress here? Heard about WordPress, right? You can have WordPress, LAMP, Node.js, Joomla, Magento, Mean, Drupal, GitLab, Redmine, Nginx, Ghost, Django, whatnot, cPanel. So, guys, these are all the mostly common applications that we use in our industry, mostly. Yeah. So everything is readily available here. Everything is configured. You just need to pick it up. So let's go and quickly pick up this WordPress. You can pick up anything, no issues. Guys, for you, the first month is free, but for me is not free. But do you see that here? I selected the WordPress. You can add, you see this here, add launch script, same like our user data. You can add a shell script that will run on our instance the first time it launches. Remember user data that we have used in EC2. If you have any script, you can use it. This is a key pair. And if you enable this automatic snapshots, you can enable it. Automatic snapshot is nothing but, guys, snapshot is not about the volumes here. Snapshot is the whole backup of your instance is called snapshot here. There's no, you cannot separately take snapshots as volume snapshots and all. The whole Lightsail instance, you need to take a snapshot. Did we discuss this just now? Right? Here itself. Yeah, here itself. Yeah. I showed you here. It will be here in this snapshot here. Okay. So here, let's go for this $3.5. So it have 512 MB RAM and then one CPU, 20 GB and all. But if you need little bit bigger, you just scroll it. But the bigger size is 32 GB RAM with 8 CPUs and 640 GB SSD. And you need to pay $160 per month. Right? Guys, are you following? Is it clear till here, everyone, on what we are discussing, guys? Nice. So here, let me go with the first guy. Okay. And here you have the identify your instance, right? Identify your instance meaning Instance name, I call it as WordPress, and you can have you can launch multiple instances here and give the key tags and all. Guys, do you understand this page? How to launch, how to create an instance, everyone? Just select Linux, which application do you need? That's all. And $3.5 and give the name. That's all you need to do it here. That's why it is called Lightsail. Okay, boom. Guys, so Lightsail is getting created here. The WordPress machine is getting created. Here we call it as instance only, but what instance? Lightsail instance. What is that? Lightsail instance. So it is coming up. Okay. So this is, do you understand how to launch an Lightsail instance? Yep. So containers, we don't go much there, but if you go here, let me explain what it has. Again, you have nano, medium, small, large, XL and all, but free for first 3 months. After that, you need to pay 10 USD dollars per month. Okay. Okay. So for definitely for me, it's not free first. Yeah. But I don't want you to try this, but yeah, I'll just showing it's like choose the power. So in this, how much, if you go for a nano, you will get only 512 MB RAM and how many that you want to launch. Just now you say free, and now do you see that? Yeah. So how many containers that you want to launch? You just mention it and then set up deployment. And you want to have some hello world or whatever it is. This is your container name. And then create your container service. So basically, if you need to create, guys, you need to know a little bit more on DevOps on this topic. But those, because see, you can do everything on AWS, on EC2, like, everything you can do it. But in Lightsail also, they are giving option to go and create your own instance with the hardware and operating system on it. But did it mention anywhere operating system, guys, here? While creating the containers? Containers doesn't have operating system. Do you remember the DevOps that we have discussed? Containers doesn't have operating system. You have just an application directly, right? So this is a container service, the path you will get it, and you can access using this path if at all you need. And databases. So databases, basically, it supports only two databases, MySQL and Postgres. These two. Right, guys, we have just launched a WordPress machine, right? That WordPress Lightsail instance also need databases, na? Definitely it requires the databases, right? So for that, if you want to launch a databases, create a database, yes, of course you can go and create like this, but it supports only two, MySQL and Postgres. Give the login credentials, database name, and then sorry, this is a username, and password will be created automatically. Give the database name and choose. Guys, it is $15. I don't recommend to do it, but just go through it. What all the details it has, right? And it is $15, which has all these configurations. Give the name and then create database. And here you have high availability. If you go for a high availability, you know the concept of high availability, and you need to pay a little bit even more, right? On the database high availability. But if you go for standard, it is this. Do you understand how to create a database here? I'm not going to create this. Do you understand? Whenever you have a requirement, just read it and then just create it. That's all. Give the name, give the database name, and then select standard, how much power you need, select that, and then boom, create it. Networking. Okay. So before going to the networking, do you see the IP address of this machine? So what do you think? That is a public IP or a static IP? I mean, that's a public dynamic IP or static IP? At the moment, it is dynamic. That is a public IP, right? So do you see that how the Lightsail works? See, you take this, put it. Guys, have we done anything till now? No, right? Please see there. Okay. Do you see that? So so the page is there already. This is WordPress page. So from here you can those who know how to work on WordPress, it is not our topic, but if you want to work on this WordPress like a blog, you can write a blog, you can create a pages. Here on the left side, right side bottom, you have manage. Go to manage and then log into that with the username and the password, and then start creating your own pages, start deploying your own website here. See, everything is handy. Should I log into this machine? Instance, simple. See, connect, boom. My machine is ready. Do you see that? Got that, guys? So here, that's the power of Lightsail, guys. Everything is light and everything is handy. So this is a public IP, which is dynamic. But if you need static IP, go and if you need a static IP, select create a static IP. Which instance? WordPress 1 instance. Guys, how do you remember how did we created elastic IPs and then assigning to the EC2 instance? Remember? Only 4 or 5 people are saying there are more than 50 people here. What happened to others? Friday effect? Waiting for Saturdays weekend? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. See, so here you can attach it. So static IPs are free only while attached to the EC2 instance. Obviously, guys, in EC2, how many elastic IPs are free? 5 elastic IPs are free. In EC2 also same concept, na? Can you keep the EC2 EIP ideal without attaching it? It will be charged, right? The same concept. But if you need the static IP, just go select this and then boom, create how many? I click my boom. Okay, so it is attached. Yeah, it is attached. So now this is the static IP. Now it is changed. So now this will work with this. Yeah, the other one will not because IP is changed. That will not work. Got this? How to select a static IP and you can go and delete this static IPs anytime. Okay, so I'm going and delete it. Why it's not required? But you know how to do that now. Yeah, now I got the grid one, and you can create the load balancer. You can create the load balancer HTTP or HTTPS, and then give the name and then boom, create. But don't create it. It will charge for you 18 USD dollars per month. But I'm showing you, yes, it is possible to go and create the load balancer here. And nice. And distribution, this is for the CDN. So choose origin. Origin, do you remember that we discussed about the CloudFront? Origin, right? Origin machine, origin meaning that your actual application will be in one region, right? So let's imagine this WordPress is in one region. So select this. Of course, you need to have a static IP for this if you need to work, if you need this work. Okay, let's show. Let's create it. I don't apply. Okay, see, distribution CDN itself is meaning of caching it, right? Caching the data. So now my origin is in Mumbai and I have the static IP here, caching behavior. So this itself will take care of it. You don't need to do anything. You just select best for static content, whether you have a static content on your website or dynamic content or the best for WordPress. It directly gives. Select whatever you need. Applying this will change your. Go ahead. Okay. Do you see that? Show all settings center. So cache nothing, cache everything. So you can select, see all these things. So cache nothing, cache everything, whatever. So here, what are the basically file path that everything should be cached, right? That you can put it over here, and then You need to select how much data that you're going to cache over there, how much 50 GB or 200 GB. Based on that, you have the pricing here and give the distribution name. And then boom, create distribution. And now your WordPress will work throughout the world super fast because of this CDN distribution. Is this clear? Nice. Yeah. Create DNS zone. Okay, I'll delete this again. You'll get a grid shape, grid layout. Yeah. So here you have a DNS zone. DNS zone meaning which is the service which we talk about DNS in AWS? Which is a DNS service in AWS? Route 53, na? Right? Route 53. In Route 53, if you want to talk about the domain, the DNS and all, we need to have a domain name na, first. We need to purchase a domain for that. So without purchasing the domain, you cannot do it. But we can see that in Route 53 later. But for this, you can create, you need to have something called example.com or boom.com should be purchased first in order to make this work. And then create DNS zone. Simple. Once you create, once you have this boom.com, you can start saying wordpress.boom.com. You can have multiple domain names, multiple subdomain names from this main domain. We'll see that in Route 53. Pakka. You understand networking here concept? 1, 2, 3, 4. Storage, you know very well. It is just like our additional volume in EC2, right? Here you can go and create disk, right? And then how much size that you need to have a disk, 8 GB or 120 or how much ever. So you can have maximum 16 terabyte, maximum 16 terabyte, and how much ever you want, you put it 32 GB or 8 GB, and then you can create this disk, give the name, and then you can attach again. It will cost for you and create disk and then attach this disk to that to that Lightsail instance. Yeah, it's billable, but it's very chumma. It's very easy. So select it and then click it. That's all. You no need to have anything logic here to follow. But we know already in the EC2 the logic is you create the disk and then you need to attach to the EC2. Once you create it, you will get the device name and then you attach it to the Lightsail instance. You know very well snapshot. Yeah, not EC2. Here we should attach it to the instance, this instance. Snapshot, the backup of this Lightsail. If you click on snapshot, okay. So snapshot is the backup of the whole instance is called the snapshot. Guys, is this clear about all the top, everything? We went one by one and we did it, right? Okay. Now what is left over here is simple this. So connect, I showed you how to connect this. It is connected. And manage, if you click on manage, in this, for that machine, you have a root device called 20 GB. This is machine, this WordPress instances, guys, this WordPress properties. See, metrics, you no need to go to CloudWatch. This itself will provide the CPU utilization here. All this. Instance check failure, incoming traffic, CPU utilization and all. Network. Hey, do you remember security groups? The same way, not remember, you know security groups, right? The same way here, we don't call it a security group, we call it as firewall here. You might have got a doubt that, sir, if you click on connect, how it is automatically connecting it? There is no security. You know why? For this machine, if you go to manage, this I show you how to connect it. This is storage, I stock metrics, network. Here you see SSH is open to any IPv4 address. That means it's open to all, anywhere. If you restrict it, edit this, and then restrict it to specific IP. Same concept as security groups. This is IPv6. Forget about that IPv6. Snapshot. We have a disable automatic snapshot, but anytime you can go and create a boom snapshot, manual snapshot of the whole instance. Tags, history, what all we are doing, and then delete it. Guys, do you understand? By default, there will be a security group. There is no concept of security group. There is a default firewall. We have it here. See, all the rules are added here. No concept of security group. Just firewall, add and remove rules. Edit, delete, remove rules. Copy the whole instance is copy of the whole instance is called a snapshot. Lightsail snapshot. Yes. Any more questions? Hey, is this clear on the light sail topic? Very light, right? Do you agree? Very light? Yes. Nice. Any questions here? What is the use of light sail? That's what. See, if you don't want to go to EC2, guys, now you tell me in EC2, can someone can directly come to EC2? Can he launch the EC2 instance, or can he understand all step 1 to step 7? Okay, definitely no. You said, can he come to Lightsail and then can he launch it? That's the reason, right? That's the reason. Yeah, by seeing is itself it. That is what, if you want to start up with the AWS, right? By seeing like this, everything can be ready-madely available. You can just do it. Your entire application can be put over here. With it just like, of course, it is secure. You can secure it with your firewall, right? But can you ask your subconscious mind, will you go for the production environment with this light sail? So for entrepreneur or for anything ideas, people are getting ideas and they want to implement very quickly to test, or newly developer, newly architect who is want to come and they want to utilize it, they'll go for this kind of light sails. It is the easy way to create the EC2. Yeah, easy instance. Kirti, you're here. Okay. Yeah. Got that, guys? Any more questions? Is it cost effective than EC2? Definitely yes. Definitely yes. But is it effective than EC2? Yes or no? Definitely no. Definitely no. Clear? Can I go and delete this? Yeah. Okay. So that is a quick roundabout on light sail. So we still have much time. Should we take up the next topic? So what do you think, which topic after this? Okay, so now we have discussed about the EC2, we have discussed ELB. Yeah, try the ELB is gone, right? Right, so what is that? Beanstalk. People are talking about Beanstalk, right? Guys, don't call it as EBS. EBS is Elastic Block Storage. No one will call Beanstalk as EBS. Okay, your shortcuts. So yeah. So guys, I don't talk much about fully about Beanstalk, but let us take the Beanstalk and then let's have an overview about the Beanstalk. What do you say? Yeah. So will you give me just only 2 or 3 minutes to set my things up to talk about Beanstalk? Yeah. Thank you. Oh, people are leaving. Don't leave. I'm coming back. Just 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. So it was about to bringing up that Beanstalk PPT. That's the reason I took. Okay, can you hear me? You there? 3 people left. So unlucky. Okay, so guys, Beanstalk is very, 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 very important again, right? So quickly, what do you know about this Beanstalk, guys? Excellent. It is for easy and quick deployment of our applications, right? Easy and quick deployment of applications. So here, Elastic Beanstalk, Beanstalk, Elastic Beanstalk. So as you rightly said, let me write that down. Elastic Beanstalk is used for easy and quick deployment of applications. Do you remember that in our first initial classes, this is the first service that we heard in AWS? Remember? All right, Elastic Beanstalk. Nice. Let us take this example again here. So guys, now there is a client who is here. Who is this client here? Venkat. Okay, let's say, okay, we already written, so it's okay. So Venkat will feel, yeah. So we have Venkat. Okay. So Venkat, basically, you know very well, Beanstalk is infrastructure as service, platform as service. Which one would you say? It's a platform as service, right? So because do we need to worry about the servers in Beanstalk? No, they will need to worry about the Beanstalk. Okay, let's say as an architect, the client came to you having application in his hand, application, and he has the data in his hand. That application has developed in your whatever, your Java or .NET, whatever it is. Okay, now guys, Venkat is coming to the AWS and he says that he has an application, obviously with the data with him. And what are the 2 ways in AWS where he can put the application? What are the 2 services? Excellent. Excellent. One is EC2, another one is, what is another service that he can use? Beanstalk. Super, yeah. Super. If you are like this, I'll go mad. Nice. So there are 2 ways that he can do it. One is with EC2, and we have seen how we can do with the EC2, and another one is Beanstalk. another is with Beanstalk. Okay, we have seen about the EC2. Let us talk more about Beanstalk. And you should know very well, this Beanstalk is like platform as service, which holds application and data. Do we need to worry about the servers on Beanstalk? No. Okay, the Beanstalk, guys, you no need to do anything as it is platform as a service. You just need to give the application to the Beanstalk. You just give your plastic Beanstalk. You just give your application to the Beanstalk. That's all. And in Beanstalk, what we need to do, okay, you will give the application to the Beanstalk, that's fine. But we need to do some configuration. We need to tell Beanstalk, hey, Beanstalk, use this VPC. Hey, Beanstalk, use this AMI. Hey, Beanstalk, use this ELB. Hey, Beanstalk, use security group. Hey, Beanstalk, use high availability. Right? Everything we need to inform in the Beanstalk, right? Beanstalk will do whatever we say. Whatever the configurations we give, it will deploy based on that configurations. And also keep this in mind. You also know about this, that Beanstalk, what is the complete, where does it deploy everything? The Beanstalk backend on the EC2 only. Beanstalk depend upon the EC2 only. So if you upload the application to the Beanstalk, it will do all the things and it will give the URL back to you. Basically, it will launch an EC2 instance. It will leverage EC2 resources. Beanstalk leverage EC2 resources. Beanstalk uses, I don't know spelling level. Okay. Okay, don't underestimate me. Beanstalk leverage EC2 resources. Right? Yeah. Beanstalk leverage EC2 resources. Meaning, you know, one more interesting thing, most of the people don't know this. You know that? Most of the people don't know this. Even the trainers, right? See, Beanstalk is completely free because Beanstalk is the bloody code only. But Beanstalk uses EC2 resources. Now, for that EC2 resources, you will get the bill. Using the Beanstalk doesn't charge. AWS will not charge for the usage of the Beanstalk. But whenever you upload your application, this Beanstalk will launch an EC2 instance in the backend, na? Right? For that EC2 instance, AWS will charge. But for the Beanstalk, it will not charge. Okay. So what we need to do here is in Beanstalk, simply everything it will handle by itself. But what you need to do is you need to do some give the details about the configurations. As I'm telling, Beanstalk leverage EC2 resources. That meaning you need to give few details to the Beanstalk. What are the details that you need to give? Which guys, what everything your application should be inside the VPC. Na? You need to give VPC details. You need to give AMI details. You need to tell that it should use auto scaling or not. It should use security group or not. It should use ELB or not. It should use high availability or not. Whatnot. Everything, etc. You should give it. Yeah. Platform. Nice. Platform also. Right. So here, by talking about the platform, yes, definitely for the Beanstalk, we need to give the platform details. Platform. Okay, platform details. So this Beanstalk has different platforms like Tomcat, Node.js, Go, Python, .NET, Docker. You have so many platforms available in the Beanstalk. So guys, if your application is developed in Bava, which platform do you choose here to support Bava? Your Bava work on which platform? Yeah, here. Tomcat, right? Yeah. So if you have Python application, select Python. If you have application within C#, go with .NET. If you have application is container containerized, then go for Dockers, right? It depend upon your application, you go and select the platform here. Okay, so these are all the few configurations that you need to give it to Beanstalk. Okay, and this Beanstalk, what it does is, this in turn, what it does is, based on these configurations, I told you everything is about, it will deploy in EC2, right? So we have two deployment modes. Two deployment modes. Two deployment modes. One is single EC2 instance. You want to deploy in single EC2 instance, or you want to deploy with high availability? Your wish. So you can go with the single instance. If you select the single instance, what this guy will do, you know, load, what is this? Beanstalk will launch an EC2, only one EC2 instance. As you have provided already the application here as a zip file, that application, it will put it inside it here. And then EC2, and this is EC2. And then this URL, so this Beanstalk will generate an URL. That URL will be given to the customer. On the other side, high availability meaning, what concept of the high availability? You have a load balancer, right? You have a EC2 instances, right? Guys, load balancer. So this is ELB. If you select, it's just a matter of selection. Everything will be deployed automatically. You have your application automatically. This Beanstalk will put application inside it, and automatically this should be inside your target group. Remember, we should have target group, na TG, right? We have target group, and then of course, if you want to have auto scaling on top of it, yeah, give all this information to auto scale to the Beanstalk. It will do the job for you. This is high availability. This is high availability. So it's just a matter of selecting, hey, you need single EC2 instance, you need high availability. If you select high availability, load balancer will deployed, EC2 instance will be deployed inside, and application will be deployed, target group will be created, auto scaling group will be created, everything based on the configuration that you have given here, that will be used, and it will be deployed based on that. You understand? Got this, guys? Still here, everyone? Clear till here, everyone? Nice. So quickly, let's go and see this Beanstalk architecture. Architecture. Okay, Beanstalk architecture. How we have discussed about how does the Beanstalk look like work, but let's see actually what is the architecture of the Beanstalk, how it exactly works, what it contains in the console. So bear with me. I need to draw the diagrams here. So here, okay, so in Beanstalk, guys, if you go to Beanstalk, you need to start with creating something called application. Guys, I would say this is just a holder container. I don't know why they call it as application, nasty name, but guys, that is a container. You create create application, and application will be created. And inside this application, you have something called environments. You can have different environments. Satisfied, right? In application, you have something called, guys, environment. What is this called? Environment. For example, I have created two environments. You can create multiple environments. So you can have one environment. What is this environment contain? The environment contain your actual EC2 instance. Your EC2 instance will be sitting over here inside this environment. This is the EC2. EC2, and you have your application here. Right? Same thing. One application, and you can have another application in another environment. So whenever you create an environment here with the application inside it, this Beanstalk will give you automatically environment URL. So you, for every environment, you will get an environment URL. Okay, what is the steps here, guys? Sorry. In Beanstalk, you go and create an application first. You can call it as overall. Let's say I usually take the example as HR. This is HR related application, and this environment is this application which has in this environment is related to salary, and this another environment is related to admin, HR admin. Makes sense, guys? So you can combine this all multiple modules in one project. It's just a name. It's just a name, guys. Create an application and create an environment. Inside the environment, you have your EC2 instance with the application. And how do you access this application? Using this environment URL. So whenever you create an environment, Beanstalk will ask you, hey, give me the application. You zip that zip file, you give it to this, and then everything it'll do, it give the URL to you. And this is the URL, you should be using it. And can we have multiple environments in single application? Yes, everyone? Can we have multiple environments? Can we have multiple environments in single application? Yes. Can I have only one environment in one application? Yes. So environment contains your actual module, this application, your actual website. Got this? Right? Do you see that that is a single instance deployment? How many EC2 instances are there? Can we call it a single instance deployment that we discussed in a previous paint? Single instance deployment. Yeah. This is another application. This is another website, and this is another website. You can have different. Okay. So in this environment, you have something called one environment is equal to one EC2 instance. Yes or no? In this single instance, one environment is equal to one EC2 instance. In single deployment, you have only one environment, meaning one EC2 instance you have in the single environment. Hey, is it good for your production environment with single machine, single EC2? Definitely no. So this might be good for your development, right? This might be good for your development, your testing, and QA, whatever. And if you ask for, sir, how about for the production? Same concept. Same concept. Let's create an application. Okay. Let's create an application. So here, this is the application here. Inside the application, what you have? What do we create inside the application? Right. So we have something called environments. You can have one environment, you can have two environments, you can three, you can four, your wish, guys. So I'm just putting nicely to have two environments here. And each environment is completely differs. Both are not same at all. Environment. This is one environment, and this is another environment if you need. And here, I have used single deployment here, right? Can I use here my high availability concept? Yeah, I can have my high availability concept. This is my ELB. All right, this is my application. I have it here. Can I have this on auto scaling group? I can have it on auto scaling group. This guy, yes, definitely I can have it in auto scaling group. And this is based on a requirement, and then you can go ahead like this. Got this, guys? And this is, I can have it the same environment also here with a different application, with the different applications. Yes or no? And this has environment URLs. This has a different environment URL, and each environment have a different URLs. Can I call this is HA deployment? Yes, this is HA deployment, and it is good for your production environment. Make sense? Make sense, guys? So in Beanstalk, what you need to create is first application, and inside that you can create an URLs, and inside the URLs you have your actual website running or application running. And it is all about configurations. So how much good configurations you have given, Beanstalk will do itself by itself, everything, all these things, and it'll give the URL to you. Okay, now guys, can I say we have here we have application called version 1. We have version 1 applications here. Now developer, right? Yeah, developer has given you version 2. Obviously they will deploy, they will develop latest versions, right? Bug fixes, etc., etc. You will have it. And then there is a requirement now, your application has to be updated to version 2. How do you do it, guys? Is it possible to go here manually and log into this machine and then upgrade to version 1 to version 2? Is that good to do like that manually? No. So here, how we need to update this version 1 to version 2 is the question automatically. How? This is where your DevOps process will come into picture. Like someone has developed something in Git, that will get Git. Build will happen and deploy will be happening there. Like this. This one like this, and then should be deployed over here. How and all you will be learning in your DevOps classes, not in mine. But how do we deploy this? How do we deploy this? How do we have this version 2 on our Beanstalk in our AWS? Within the AWS, how do I deploy version 2 on my environments using Beanstalk features is the one that we'll be talking tomorrow. So the topic here is how to have version 2 be deployed on this environment automatically. So tomorrow we'll talk about deployment options. So AWS Beanstalk will give you deployment options. So how do we use these deployment options and all? With the lab, we'll see tomorrow. Yeah. So here, Soundarya. So you can ignore that email if you get that 85% free trial exceeded and all. But you got some 40 rupees charge because I'm getting mail. Why I'm receiving this mail? Anything can return. I got charged. If you are charged, please log into your root account and go to billing section and see where exactly they are charging it. So for emails or for what? So for SNS, they might be charging. Ignore that. But if you don't want, you can keep one SNS topic. Otherwise, delete it. Whenever you want, you can create it. For SNS, they won't be charging it there. How many classes more left to complete? You want why? How many classes more left to complete the AWS? What should I say? I cannot say that. Because guys, do you agree that we are going very slow? Everyone, right? Khol ke, right? Yeah. So let's. I don't have anything in mind when to complete this. I don't have strict timelines, but I don't know. Maybe we have from this Beanstalk we'll go like services will be 1 or 2 days maximum. Maybe April first week or month end, depends again. It should close. It's at least definitely before next month first week. The photos. Does anyone knows or how many days that we have been talking? I mean, when did we started? 60 days हो गया? Don't tell me. Definitely no. Remove Saturday, Sundays. Yeah. Okay. Remove Sundays. Yeah. Count the. Yeah. 34 days. Huh? Yeah. Okay. 33. So then I committed for 50 days, right? Initially. Yeah. So let's aim for that. But don't worry, I don't care about that number of days. Yeah, come on, let's learn and then leave. So you will not come to me again and again, right? So that's why I need to polish you and send it to the market. That's the only goal for me. Okay, guys. So can you give me the final CC for today on this topic? Smile, smile. Great. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with this Beanstalk practicals and little bit theory. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day and good night.